back to the Jealous Podcast. Today, I am sitting with Melanie. Hey, Melanie, how you doing?
I'm great. How are
we
you?
were just talking about this was our first time ever sitting down for a podcast, and you're amazing.
You're amazing. You and I have never podcasted together.
I know. I love your high energy. You're screaming. You might need to turn down the volume a little bit. I'm kidding.
So sorry. So sorry.
I'm just kidding. You invited Madi Kubik on today.
Madi Kubik.
She was a delight.
She is amazing. She's just a wonderful human.
Yeah.
Her whole family's amazing. So Maddie's a national renowned collegiate volleyball player right now. She's playing D1 at the University of Nebraska. And that's one of the...
Brandon's trying to be sneaky with his squeaky shoes. I hear him. I'm kidding, I don't.
So Maddie's a nationally known athlete. She's playing right now at the University of Nebraska, which is a top 5, top 2 program in the nation. Plays in the Big Ten Conference, which is the I'm a little bit biased, but the best volleyball conference in the nation. She's been Gatorade Player of the Year in high school. She's been National Big Ten Player of the Year. I think she's a third-team All-American. So runner-up from the national title next year. Anyway, played at a very high level. So, but just a really great human.
Yep.
Her feet are on the ground. I mean, so.
She was amazing. So insightful, especially even we talked about the mental health of college athletes right now. I found that part so inspiring. Not even as an athlete right now, clearly. But I found that super inspiring. She's so wise beyond her years, and she knows so much. I'm so excited to see what the future has in store for her, because we even talked about the pressures of her as a individual player, but now that you're saying Nebraska, world renowned, like that, the pressures from the team perspective as well to keep that title upheld, like I can't even, that's added pressure too. So she's doing amazing stuff at Nebraska, and I'm so happy that you brought her on because she was amazing.
Well, thanks for joining on that with me.
Yes, you're so welcome. So I wanted to give a little insight into who I was jealous of this week, because I'm a little bitter, I'm not going to lie. Yesterday, Mackenzie stopped by the office to let everyone see little baby Ro. And guess who wasn't here?
The only one. Well, Rodney's on Ragbri, but
yeah.
Shelby.
I wasn't here. I was out filming reels, and everyone got to meet little baby Ro. So I am jealous of the big. Were you here? You were here.
I was here, yeah.
Gosh.
She was the cutest thing in the world.
Tell me more.
Oh my God. And just sleeping and just very sweet. And Mackenzie looks phenomenal for just giving birth 2 weeks ago. And her boys were here too, so it was just this adorable little happy family running around.
I've never met them, and I just want to meet them all.
They were so cute.
Faces.
They were so cute.
How's Mackenzie doing as a girl mom?
I think she looks like a freaking natural. She looks amazing. She said she's sleeping all right, and they're hanging in there. So
that's good. Yeah. Is their house done yet?
It is not. I think she's like, don't ask timeline. She's like, nope, don't do it. Don't do it. I don't know.
I think I texted her about it one day, and I got no response. I'm like, so that's how that's going.
Oh, man.
Well, I can't wait till she comes back and we get to meet her. If you keep up with us on social, she likes to let us know when she's stopping in the office, and we keep tabs on her too. So follow us at It's Bing Bang on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok. We're doing all the things out there.
All of the things.
Too many things.
All of the
But
things.
we're doing them. We're getting off our butts and doing them.
With really high energy and screaming.
Well, thanks again, Melanie, for bringing Maddie on. She was amazing, and enjoy today's episode, guys.
Thanks, Shelby.
Bye.
Bye.
Well, welcome back. We are here with Madi Kubik today. Melanie brought her on. How do you guys know each other? I was just listening to you guys talk. I'm like, you guys know each other.
Well, I'd like to say that I, was young enough to play volleyball against her and good enough, but that is clearly not the case. No, Maddie rolled into West Des Moines at Valley, and I was on the coaching staff. That I was able to, fortunately, had the opportunity to coach her for 4 years at Valley here in West Des Moines. So that is how I know Maddie.
So then tagging off of that, do you want to kind of share why you are jealous of Maddie?
Anyone who meets Maddie, it's not hard to see why someone would be jealous. She's 6'2" and gorgeous, and as a D1 stellar high-level athlete, great human, great personality, great leader on the court, and is going to do some kick-ass things in life. So that's why I am jealous of Maddie.
Oh, well, we are excited to have you on. And trying to get things started, Maddie, do you want to talk a little bit about yourself, where you grew up, what sports you did, what you were involved in? how you were as a kid, just so we can get to know you a little bit better.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Thank you guys so much for having me on. I'm excited to hang out with you guys and
So are we.
uh, yeah, just hang out. So yeah, I grew up in Springfield, Missouri, which is where my dad's family is from, and I played all sports. I played softball, soccer, volleyball, a little bit of basketball, which is not really my groove, but that's okay. I played like 1 year of school ball, and I was like, yep, nope,
Yep.
nah. So we lived there until I was an eighth grader, and then we moved to West Des Moines, which is when I got to meet Miss Melanie. And we were there till I came to college, and now I live in Lincoln, Nebraska, and just play volleyball. So I was probably a seventh grader when I only played volleyball, when I kind of ditched other sports.
When you focused on that strictly.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh.
Oh, I guess my family too. I have three little sisters, and my family lives in Overland Park, Kansas.
Oh, I love it. So I kind of want to learn more about, I'm from Ankeny myself. I'm an Ankeny gal. What was it like when you moved back here in middle school? What was it like growing up a Valley Tiger?
Other than
Yeah, so
the random orange jerseys you had to put on.
really, yeah. When we moved to West Des Moines, my dad was like, "Hey, you can pick where you want to go to school and like we'll kind of look for houses in that area or whatever." And I had to choose between Valley and Dowling, which people that are from West Des Moines know there's like a rivalry or whatever.
Oh, yes.
So I picked to go to Valley, which was awesome, and I loved Valley. And there's like my graduating class, I think, at 750. So there's like so many different people, such a diverse school, and like you could make a new friend every single day, which was cool. And so I really enjoyed going to Valley.
And what were you involved in outside of volleyball?
At Valley?
Yeah.
I was a part of FCA and
volleyball kept you busy. And club
and
volleyball.
And more
club
volleyball and more. Well, you guys, what was your guys' seasons like at Valley? You made it to state, obviously, probably, right?
Actually, yeah, my favorite memory, we were at state all 4 years that Maddie was there. And my favorite memory, I think, of state and or Maddie was we were playing against, so sorry for any Ankeny Centennial people watching, but we were playing against Ankeny Centennial. And they had won 3 consecutive titles. And so they were going for their 4th consecutive title, and it was the semifinal game. And I actually remember the side we were sitting on. I remember everything. And we were playing against 4 D1 athletes that were seniors that year, I believe, graduating from Ankeny Centennial.
Was that McKenna's year?
Yep.
Okay.
all my
Devin
teammates
Robinson,
for club.
Yeah. So rivalry is high, right? Tensions are high, and I think.
Right.
I mean, obviously, Maddie went D1, and we may have one other D1, or maybe 2 other smaller D1s at that time that were much younger than Maddie. But my favorite memory was we beat him in 3 sets, but in set 3, Maddie just took everybody on her back and was like, I am ending this game. And you were in the back row, and you just were unstoppable and could not. She wasn't even in the front row.
Yeah.
She was getting every single kill from the pipe option and a back row attack, and she's just like, nope, game over. And that was one of the funnest games in my memory that resonates at state. You might have different memories, but you're laughing because you know that's what I'm talking about.
Well, it's just fun to beat them, especially like senior year. They're all my best friends, and I'm like, hey, bye.
Have you always been that type of person that will put the team on your back and you're just like going hard head first into those moments?
I guess like I've just always been so competitive and kind of just been like, I'm going to try to be whatever the team needs for us to be successful, whatever that looks like, whether it's like as a leader, as a cheerleader, as someone who contributes, as someone who doesn't, like whatever that looks like. And I felt like our team was so special that year because I think we had so many close relationships, and my sister was a freshman too, which was fun. And I don't know, I just thought like that year was just really fun.
Yeah. The senior year is always a highlight too. Just there's so many, it's your lasts and everything. And to get that win, I bet especially.
You mentioned your roles on teams. So obviously that was a team and a role that you played on. Obviously you have a different potentially role at Nebraska, and you've played at the USAV, national level. So talk about a few different teams you've played on, those different types of roles that you've had to adapt to.
Yeah, I mean, when I came in at Valley, Hannah Locken was a junior. So she was kind of like a leader of our team. And so I kind of got to build a relationship with her at Valley and just kind of help to contribute to the mission that she was already on and kind of the culture that she was developing at school. And so that was really special and unique to be a part of. And I still am so close with her. Like we catch up every once in a while, and she's an awesome human. So, and then with USA stuff, it's a little bit different just because it's kind of more similar to college. When you first get to college, you throw a bunch of people that have kind of been like the best in their state or like the best at their club, whatever. You expect them to be a great team in a couple weeks. So that the USA timeline is a lot more squished, where you have to like get people to mesh and like kind of figure out their roles really quickly. And then at Nebraska, it was kind of similar to like being a freshman at Valley. Like you come in to kind of like this established leader, there's like established leadership, and you're supposed to kind of come in and fill a role and contribute to this puzzle that's already kind of half formed. So that was really like unique and special to get to play with like Lauren Stivrins and Lexi Sun and people that are just like these really substantial volleyball players, but also great humans and leaders. So just to be able to like play with them and kind of like learn from them was cool.
Awesome. And for context, Nebraska is like one of the top volleyball schools in the country, might I add. So it's all very, very, very impressive. So what was that pressure like? So you built this reputation, you're going to be a D1 athlete. How did you handle that pressure as you transitioned from high school up to this high level competitive program?
Yeah, it was challenging. It still is challenging because we play on such a large stage.
Yeah.
And we talk about this a lot. Like, you don't come to Nebraska to kind of like live a quiet life. Like, people know who you are in town, and everything you do is kind of under a microscope. So you have to just be aware of that and know that that's kind of what you're signing up for. But it was definitely challenging just because the previous year they graduated Michaela Fecky and Kinsey Maloney, kind of their stud outside and libero. And so then me and Kinsey kind of roll up, Kinsey Knuckles, she's a senior this year with me, but we're like, hey guys, like here we are. Like we're supposed to play, I guess.
That's funny.
So,
well,
I think, yeah,
it worked out for you. You were at what, Big Ten Freshman of the Year, I believe. I mean, so clearly you did all right when you rolled in. But
thanks. Awesome. We really tried our best. We did.
There's other Iowa gals on the team now, isn't there, from the Metro? Or am I losing my mind? Or who's the girl from? I'm thinking Wisconsin. There's a girl at Wisconsin.
Devin Robinson.
Yes, was she at Ankeny?
Yep, she's in Centennial. Yeah.
I'm getting so good at learning volleyball.
I'm teaching you so much. Shelby's a basketball, softball kid.
Yeah.
So I'm educating her.
I'm opposite of you. I was always, people are like, do you play volleyball? I'm like, absolutely not. Like, you do not want to see me out there. No coordination whatsoever.
Oh, puppy. But to Shelby's point, I mean, there is another Iowa girl, or, ish, because, you guys live in Kansas, but your sister is joining you at Nebraska as well. Talk about that.
Oh, cool.
Yes. So it has been.
And your sister's Hayden Kubik.
Oh, yeah. Yes. My sister's Hayden Kubik. And it has definitely been a journey. Because I kind of talk about this, like when I left home, she was 15 years old. So now she's like a big 18-year-old and I'm 21, and it's like, whoa, you're a full human. And so that's just been like a really fun transition of me kind of like getting to relearn her as a person and as a sister, and now kind of as a teammate again. So it's been really fun. I think she's like finally kind of getting her feet under her and like getting really excited for this season. And so,
fun.
Yeah.
What advice do you have for an athlete that is transitioning from high school to college? Like, what is something you wish you would have known or paid more attention to when you made that transition?
It's a great question.
It is a really good question. I think the biggest thing for me would be, sorry, dear. I think the biggest thing for me was like learning how to take care of myself. Like, I took for granted how much my mom like did my laundry, cooked dinner for us, like all of these stuffs that I think when you live at home, you're just like, oh, that's how we kind of like do stuff at our house. And then I got here and I'm like, I literally have never done laundry before.
Yeah.
Like I washed all my reds with my whites, turned everything pink, like did the full like trial and error to figure out how to do life. So that, and I don't know if you can really prepare for that. And that's kind of a big trial and error, but that was my biggest adjustment, I think.
No, for sure. Even I still struggle with that today. I'm like, Shelby, you have got to clean the house. Like, no one else is going to do this but you.
Shelby, you have to wash your hair today.
Yeah. I was telling Melody, I'm like, today is the day.
The dry shampoo is showing at this point.
It's getting bad. So from a competitive level, who is your biggest rival now that you're at Nebraska? Who's that rival where you're like, you had Centennial for that one game? At a collegiate level, who do you like, yes, I can't wait to play them and do this?
Well, Wisconsin.
Yeah.
Well, last year in 2022, was it 2022 this year?
That's this year.
Anyway, whatever the last national championship was, Nebraska and Wisconsin met up as the Big Ten national championship,
Okay, so Wisconsin.
And we lost to them for the Big Ten championship as well.
That
actually is so
dagger, right? Dagger.
Sorry.
Dagger, absolutely. Yeah.
Do you enjoy playing there? Where's your favorite Big Ten stadium or arena to play at?
I actually really like Minnesota now that they have a Terraflex also.
Melanie's a big Gopher gal.
And I remember that. She was like, I love Minnesota, but I'll love Nebraska for you. She was so nice.
I did say that to you.
Funny. You'll be a Husker.
She's going to paint her face half Minnesota, half Nebraska.
It's very challenging when you guys play, when you guys match up. It's very challenging. My heart hurts the entire 2 hours. But that's awesome.
What has been your most memorable collegiate moment so far that you've had?
Ooh, that's a good question.
I want to beat Texas to go to the Final Four.
Oh, fun.
It's down.
What year was that?
This last season.
This past season. Did you guys make it to the finals? Sorry, I'm learning all this. Yeah. They made it to the finals?
And then lost Wisconsin.
Oh shit.
This
sorry.
Is
now here I am. We got there. Get there faster. I got there.
Did you beat them in 5? I forget.
Texas?
Yeah.
Yeah. No, we beat them in 4.
In 4. Was it at Texas though?
It was at Texas. So we lost to them the previous year in the same match to go to the Final Four. And then we got to play them at their place, which it is an awful arena to play in because it's so freaking loud. Like you can't hear yourself think or what the person next to you is saying. And they're like booing us, like we hate you guys, like being really mean. And we beat them in 4, and it was like the best team win we've like ever. Like, when people talk about like chasing the feeling, like that was one of the games where like I would chase the feeling for that game.
I got chills just hearing
it.
Once you said that, chasing the feeling, I'm like, yep.
Yeah.
Well, that's the beauty of athletics though, right? Is that the first time you get that feeling, like I am hooked because this is what I want to chase every day then, because that
it's like a drug.
Oh, it is.
That adrenaline and all that. Oh, I miss that. How do you, I guess coaching now does
the
that
same
for you?
Yeah.
Gosh.
This past season at Nationals, a couple weeks ago or a couple months ago, we had a game go 37-35, Maddie. Yeah. In set 2. So we won set 1 and then it went 37-35. And my blood pressure, I checked on my watch, it was like 137.
It was like, please take a deep breath.
My heart's like, you're not even working out. Why are you, what are you doing to your body? So that's a rush.
Yeah. Mine now comes when I get road rage. Or I go to the driving range and I just get pissed at myself because I can't hit the freaking golf ball. I'm the worst at
Golf is like the most enraging sport ever.
Yes, it is, because I should be good at golf, but I'm freaking not, and it pisses me off. And I'm like, I have PTSD. Yep. My dad would show me videos like, this is what you're doing wrong. I'm like, I'm trying, but I can't get it. I need to go to the golf course with you, and maybe you should coach me.
Okay, I can do that.
Get prepared for this. I'll wash my hair.
It is the most enraging because you're like this doesn't look that hard. Why is it so hard?
Right.
And you're like, I'm an amazing, this is you speaking, not me. Like, I'm this amazing athlete. Like, why is this so frustrating?
And like we're all competitive, so it's like I want to do well. Like I can't just leisurely sail balls into the trees.
Yeah. And I'm the most competitive with myself, so that's where it really gets me, and I get my blood going because I'm like, gosh, dang it. And I know I can swing a bat, so why can't I swing a club?
It's a different trajectory. I don't know.
Different trajectory. So what goals do you have for your senior year, or what legacy do you want to leave behind before you leave Nebraska?
Ooh.
You like how I took that sharp
We're going to
turn?
show this to John Cook after this, so.
We actually talk about this a lot because we talk about like if you have a stronger why than someone, that you're going to be able to kind of go the distance and have more endurance than someone. So like this example is like when he talks about, so Jordan Larson, her mom was battling breast cancer during the regional final in one of their matches, and her mom was unable to come to that match. And she was like, I'm not going to let this be the last match that we play because my mom has to see my last one my senior year. So that's like the example that he kind of gives us, and inspiring us to come up with like a deep why of why we get up in the morning and do what we do. And I think my why has kind of changed over the years. Because I think when you come in as a freshman, it's easy to be like, oh, it's my family. Like I do it because they're my family, or like, I don't know, like stuff like that. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And my why has kind of transitioned to being like, my love for competition is the reason that I get up every day, and my love for the relationships that are built on the court, like that sense of like camaraderie and like sisterhood, and like we're going to battle together every single day. Like I would want you on my team if we were going into war. Like that is my why, and like the reason that I choose to be a part of my team and like choose to work so hard every single day. So I guess kind of going back to the legacy thing is like what I want to leave behind is like I worked my ass off every day, and I was the best teammate some people ever played with. Which is like, that's kind of.
And now I'm crying.
Yeah, I love that. That is getting me going. I'm like, I want to be on your team.
I'll go to war with you.
You might not want these knees, but I'll be there. Oh, that's so powerful, especially as a 21-year-old woman who has. Are you planning to play volleyball after college, or are you done?
Yes, I think I'm going to go play overseas.
Oh, great. That's so awesome. I know someone, Jaylee Winters. Does that name ring a bell? I know she's over there right now. I think she just re-signed for someone, but
she's been in France. So Ari, her younger sister, is my grade. So I'm close with their family. And Jaylee has been in France, and she just signed to go to Puerto Rico.
Oh, cool. So she'll be a little closer. Is that closer than France?
I'm sorry, not Puerto Rico, Greece. She's trying to go to Greece.
Oh, okay.
Oh, wow.
That's not even close to Puerto Rico, Maddie.
No, I know. That's so bad. That was so bad. Greece.
So are you in talks of where you're going to go yet? Obviously, you can't disclose, but you have to be in communication, right?
Well, yeah. So the rules with the NCAA is you can like talk to agents, kind of like put feelers out, but you can't sign with anyone until your like college eligibility is up. So I've kind of been like dipping my toes in a little bit, because it kind of is like when you're being recruited to go to play college volleyball, like you just kind of have to like talk to everyone, see what people have to offer, like kind of just feel it out. So that's where I'm at approximately right now.
That's awesome.
Are there any places you have your eye on where you're like, ooh, that'd be fun to play in that country, or anything?
Italy.
That would be cool.
That'd be cool
That
to
would
visit.
be cool.
Not even visit, play.
Yeah.
Live.
Yeah.
Experience.
And Brant might go overseas with me. We'll have to see how that all pans out. But he says that he's going to work in like an Italian grandma's pasta shop. So
I went just straight to pasta. I'm like, he's going to love that pasta. I don't even know him.
These Italians would be like, what are these two beautiful, tall, white people doing walking around here?
Eating up all our Alfredo.
Literally, yeah.
Too funny.
That's awesome.
So speaking of the NCAA, the NIL has become a major thing for college athletics. How has that changed the game for you, your teammates, or even some other athletes that you have been around?
Yeah, I think with NIL, they kind of put it out there and they were like, here you go, like figure it out, everyone. So there's a ton of gray area that exists with it. Um, and especially like being at Nebraska, there are so many people in our community that support our volleyball program, so like tried and true, and like have done it for years and years. So it's really cool to be able to like interact with them and like them want to support us in different kind of NIL endeavors in the community. And what I love so much about it is like that side of it, like getting to do stuff in the community, like with the team. Like, for example, last week we did like a camp with the Special Olympics. So stuff like that, where we get to be like involved in people that we wouldn't normally like meet and interact with, that because we just like at the matches, we don't really get to like have that one-on-one time with the fans and the people that literally like I've been coming to volleyball for 30 years. I'm like, wow, like that's so substantial, and we just don't even get to interact with them. But it's cool to kind of get in the community and do stuff like that.
Awesome.
Yeah, that's even cool, like from a female athletic perspective, because the viewership and the following is not as grand as men's athletics. So it's cool to hear.
Except in Lincoln, Nebraska.
I know. You have all these.
Sorry, Brant.
Oops, sorry.
You do. You have these followings. I have a friend that plays down in Florida even, or used to. She's graduated, but the stadium was filled. Or I even went to Alabama. I'm like, this is so cool to see this following of people just supporting their university and the college in their town, and even the female athletes that are being a part of it as well, because we are doing the part too.
Yeah.
Right. Absolutely. And it's cool to see, like, for Nebraska, like, it's so special that like we're one of the only volleyball programs in the country that creates revenue for their college.
Oh wow.
So like, yeah, which is like we're one of two. Hawaii is the other one. So it's like really unique because the university kind of treats us that way too, which is really cool. And it's like kind of a commitment to our fan base and our following and Husker Nation, because it's like pretty massive, which is really cool.
Yeah, that's special. What is your favorite part about the University of Nebraska?
Playing at Bob Devaney. That's it.
Playing at packed stadium. Yeah, it's always packed too. It's never not full.
Have you been before?
Right.
I haven't. Yes, I have, but for a basketball game, but not for volleyball. I don't know why. I don't know.
I'm gonna get you tickets this fall.
I'll see you there. Preferably when I can watch Hugh McCutcheon. Hi, Hugh.
Hi, Hugh.
Perfect. We play Minnesota here. It's Minnesota, Wisconsin is that weekend at home.
Oh, you're in for a showdown.
And well, the thing is like Hayden and I, so we each get 4 tickets, so we'll have 8.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll be there. I will be there.
Okay.
All right. I'm gonna
paint your face.
Oh God.
I'm actually gonna make a note right now, so don't forget.
I'm gonna have to do a Nebraska T-shirt and then like a Minnesota long sleeve, and I'll just alternate.
Yes.
To whoever's playing well. Yeah.
Fair weather fan.
Maddie, did I tell you I met Hugh McCutcheon this past summer? They came to Simpson to play, or spring or something, and I went over and I fangirled Hugh McCutcheon at 35 years old. And it was one of the best days of my life.
Were you in a line with like a bunch of other?
Yeah, a bunch of high school volleyball kids to meet the Minnesota head coach, and then there's me, and I'm like, hi. And
I also love you.
I was like, Hugh, I'm your biggest fan, and he's just like laughing at me. He's like, who is this woman? But anyway, here we are.
Too funny. So what are you excited about for your future beyond volleyball? Is there anything that you're looking forward to? Because, volleyball, especially as a college athlete, student athlete, it takes up a lot of your time. So what are you looking forward to kind of once you get outside of all these hats and roles that you have to play?
Yeah. I mean, and I think it's hard. Like, I don't know if you guys kind of seen like everything that's going on with like mental health and like mental health awareness in terms of like college athletes. And it's kind of been something that I think has been under wraps for a while, and it existed, but it wasn't as talked about. It wasn't as like common conversation, which is sad. Right. But I'm glad that that parts of it are kind of being brought to light and being addressed, because it's very easy to find identity in a sport that you've been successful at in your life, because I don't know, I talk about this with my sports psychologist. When people have like high achieving children, they're like, oh, I'm proud of you for getting an A. I'm proud of you for having getting this award or doing whatever. And it kind of like enforces this thought of like, oh, I'm praised when I have success in these areas. And not on purpose as a parent, you know what I mean? Like enforce that in a child, but it's easy when someone's successful to commend them for their success. So a lot of the things that we work on as our team is like, I'm a daughter, I'm a dog mom, I am a sister, I am a girlfriend, I am a random girl at a coffee shop that someone might meet. Like all of those other things that are not just I am a volleyball player.
Yeah.
So I guess kind of that kind of branched off from your question, but I'm excited to just be like a wife someday and a mom and be a dog mom and I don't know what that looks like. I kind of am.
No, that's great.
But
that's great that you even have that support from a psychiatrist that you can go in and check with. When you find yourself getting mentally like, oh shit, like I'm getting overwhelmed, what is something that you do to kind of calm yourself and recenter yourself to regroup and focus?
Yeah, the biggest thing for me is just breathing. So when you look at the body, if a lot of people in terms of like when they try to work on mental toughness, go straight to thought management, which is like telling yourself like, oh, I'm not stressed out or like, oh, I'm not anxious, like trying to like kind of counteract the sensations that we're having in our body. But you can't control your thoughts when your lungs and heart rate and brain are telling you a completely different story than the thoughts you're trying to say. So if you can control your breathing, you can slow down your heart rate, which kind of like allows your brain to then think rationally. Because when we get really excited or anxious, your brain goes into tunnel vision, which is like your fight or flight response. And you have two sets, like you have a parasympathetic nervous system, sympathetic, and they work like a gas and a brake. And you have to like be able to put on the gas so then you can think. Because when your other system's going, like you would be surprised how many, like your digestive system shuts off, your heart rate just like skyrockets, all of these other things in your body happened and make your brain literally like, you're just like, like, then you just go into like that, like I have to run away, I have to fight someone, or I have to like coil up in a ball. I don't know, like that. So we kind of tap into that, like how can I control my breathing so then I can go back and control my brain.
Oh, I
That's
love
such
that.
a great perspective.
It is because the mind,
So mature, so wise beyond your years.
that mind-body connection or body-mind, however you want to look at it, it is huge, especially even I think about breathing not only from a mental state, but even using that breath when you're out on the court as well. And just using it to not only help you mentally, but even physically. Like I think about you falling or not falling. You're not falling. I'm falling. You're diving for volleyball. Like using that breath to kind of guide you there too. It's all connected. Like you said, the gut, the brain, it's all there.
Yeah. And it just like, that's a constant, like, regardless of what's happening, breath is a constant. And it's like very anchoring and grounding of like where my feet are. So yeah, like you said, it's great.
I love this. Well, Maddie, thank you for being with us today. It was so great to reconnect with you at this level. And
I've loved chatting with you. I could talk to you for another hour, but I want you to leave us with a couple pieces of advice for our listeners, because as we established, you're wise beyond your years. So leave us with a little wisdom as we head into our week.
Okay. I actually, I just started reading a book that I've been very inspired by. And it's written by this guy who is a former Navy SEAL. And the book is called Embrace the Suck, which is kind of a funny, I don't know, kind of an ironic title. But basically his book is just talking about like how to build mental toughness and how to like live an extraordinary life. And he breaks it down into 3 P's, which are persistence, passion, and
perseverance? I don't know.
There's a third P. I literally just read last night. There's a third P.
Perseverance, purpose,
Perspective.
Purpose.
Yes, nailed it.
Purpose, passion, and persistence. And he breaks it down into like those 3 things of like how you build mental toughness. And so I guess like the biggest thing that I would maybe take away is to kind of like figure out what your purpose is in doing what you do, and kind of put some motivation around like why do I wake up in the morning and do what I do, and kind of like be able to sit in that. And if you don't like what you're doing and you have no purpose in what you're doing, then change it. That's like the beauty of our lives. It's like we have the choice. Like if I decided tomorrow I hate volleyball, I never want to play again, then like, okay, let's do something else. Like if this does not serve me and it doesn't serve my purpose and whatever endeavor in life that you're going through, like that's what I think is just so extraordinary, is like we have the choice to change that. And if you don't like the way that this person spoke to you, then don't be friends with them anymore. And you have the power to change that. And so that's, I guess, just like find your purpose and like use it to like live a really extraordinary life.
Beautifully said. Well done.
I've been so inspired by this book. Like really just
I need to get my hands on that.
Embrace
bad boy.
the suck.
Yeah.
Okay.
yeah,
I love it.
It's so good.
Awesome.
Well, hey, good luck getting back to that national championship game.
I'll be watching now.
You're going to have to.
We'll have it on the TV.
And I will see you when you play the Gophers.
Yes.
Okay, perfect. At a home game, Bob Vanny.
Yes. I'll be there.
Okay. Thank you guys so much for having me
Thanks,
on.
Maddie.
Thanks, Maddie.